You always dreamed of having a baby, adopting a child of your own. But what if the little one you were promised was given to someone else?
He's doing a bait and switch with babies.
7's Patrick Frasier exposes an adoption nightmare that every parent should see.
It's as sick as it gets.
Bye Bye Baby. Tomorrow at 6 and 10 on 7 News.
You know, it's like being raped.
Michelle Tublitz and her husband David are angry.
I wouldn't know who could ever do something like this.
Angry at this man sitting in a Russian orphanage holding the baby they say he had promised them. But wait a second, the Raiders have the same photo.
I even used the word, playing Russian roulette with our family. That's basically what he was doing.
The Raiders are angry too at the same guy, Stuart Horowitz, the adoption coordinator who they say promised them the same baby. A baby that may have been promised to other parents as well. Imagine being told for months she's going to be your daughter, then suddenly told she's not.
Oh, we were devastated.
We were speechless.
We were speechless.
Your first reaction was, I can't believe this man would do this. And then, of course, many dirty words.
And he's doing a bait and switch with babies. I mean, it's as sick as it gets.
They were both offered the exact same child.
Robert Kasky runs the adoption agency where Horowitz worked. For years, Kasky has had an impeccable reputation, and he says he trusted Horowitz because Horowitz told him he had been adopted as a child.
It's a nightmare of monumental proportions. I can't tell you how devastating it was to us, as devastating as it was to the couples.
And the way the couples found out was also devastating. It takes several months to get a child from a Russian orphanage to here in South Florida. Eventually, the couples grew upset with Horowitz and got together for a meeting. Now, being expectant parents, everyone brought along a picture of the baby they planned to receive.
One of the other families showed us a picture of the daughter that they were supposed to have adopted. It was the exact same pictures that Stuart Horowitz had given us of the daughter that we were to adopt.
Mommy.
So who got to adopt the baby and who got left out? Well, the lucky ones were Gail and Stuart Rader. Sasha is now their daughter.
And I know if the roles where we've been, it would have been just as devastating for us as it was for them, but so our hearts went out to them.
This little piggy had roast beef.
And the Tublitzes? Kasky's agency scrambled quickly. They are the proud parents of Gregory. Their faces show their love.
You want to look at Mickey Mouse?
The end result was a good one, but had we not caught this problem, I have no idea how he was going to, quote-unquote, split the baby.
What was Horowitz going to do? Did he promise the same baby to several different couples? Well, on Wednesday, he talks to us. He wanted to put orphan children with parents. Find out why it turned into Bye Bye Baby. Patrick Frasier, 7 News, Night Team.
Little Sasha has no idea how much turmoil and heartache has swirled around her. The man holding her in the Russian orphanage promised her to Michelle and David Tublitz.
We trusted him totally.
The Tublitzes didn't know, but the Raiders say at the same time Stuart Horowitz was showing them the same picture and promising them the same baby.
We had furniture, we had clothing.
The winner in this bizarre story, Gail and Sue Rader. They are now the parents of Sasha. The biggest loser seems to be Stuart Horowitz.
It's an emotional upheaval.
Robert Kasky runs One World Adoption, where Horowitz worked.
What kind of person does that?
I think a sick person. I think a desperate person.
Kasky fired Horowitz. Then he says he discovered Horowitz had been stealing from the agency, forging Kasky's name to these checks, allegedly spending the agency's money on vacations and luggage, and even billing the company for a swing he put in his own backyard. Kasky sued Horowitz, but Horowitz also sued Kasky, accusing him of defaming him.
Horowitz is now working for a major stock brokerage firm which has sent him to New York for sales training. We called him there, but he never returned our calls. We were told he was coming home this past weekend, so we came by. He wasn't here either. Horowitz's attorney told us he doubted Horowitz would talk to us, but he would ask him and get back to us.
Finally, he did. Over the phone, Horowitz told us the parents misunderstood that they were never promised a specific baby. He did admit to forging Kasky's name on checks, but says Kasky forged his name as well, which Kasky denies. Finally, he told us any accusations he acted improperly are preposterous, and that Kasky is out to get him, which makes Kasky scoff.
I've been in the community for 25 years. My reputation precedes me, if I can be as bold as to say that. I think he was sick. That's my personal feeling, is I think he's sick.
And now the state Supreme Court has jumped in, stripping Horowitz of his license to practice law. The court has also thrown out Horowitz's lawsuit against Kasky and One World Adoption. Meantime, Kasky is happily putting families together. They mended the Tublitz's heartache with a baby boy named Gregory. The picture of this family is even sweeter for Kasky when he realizes how their adoption was headed for disaster, but ended in delight.
I love it. There's absolutely nothing more rewarding emotionally or in any other way. It's a joy that you, unless you've done it, you can't realize how great it is.
Despite Horowitz's claims he did nothing wrong and all his problems come from One World Adoption, the facts dispute that. When the state stripped him of his license, they cited 20 complaints against him. Many of those came after he left One World Adoption. From the Newsplex, Patrick Frasier, 7 News, Night Team.